So hello everybody who is going to catch me today and who catches the replay. I've been getting the downloads all morning, and I knew today was coming. I'll put it that way. I knew today was coming. I knew, because I always do these, I always do the moon events, the full moon and new moon. I always do them privately. I do closed events, with lives like this, in the moon events group. And I was guided to do the event and all the lives public today so that everybody gets the messages, I do as I'm guided, right? I do as I'm guided. So, this is I'm going to pretty much be doing my moon event that I would do privately. I'm just doing it publicly for everybody, and we're going to go over some things. So this live, moving into it, you're going to get astrologically educated a bit, which is where I want to start, because not only am I going to help you understand where the cosmic energies are now, I'm going to give you a little bit of background information on, nutshells, what these different planetary aspects mean. So when you go back and look at your own chart, when you go back and look at your own chart, if you haven't done that before, you can use ALABE. It's ALABE.com, right? ALABE.com. You can use cafeastrology.com. There's a whole bunch of ones. If you go into Google and just put free birth chart, you'll get a bunch of different sites that you can look up your planetary aspects. You're going to need to know, obviously, the day you were born. But you're also going to need to know where you were born, like where in the world, and what time of day, okay? Because those things are going to adjust the details, all right? You don't necessarily need them, but they adjust the details. If you don't know those things and you want to look things up, just shoot me a private message, and I'll tell you, how to go about getting your chart if you don't have all the information. Hey, everybody. I appreciate you guys for sharing this out too, everybody that shares it out, because we're going to get into some good cosmic information here. So, in a nutshell, what the different planets mean. So when you look at your own chart, you know what this shit means. Now, mind you, all the houses have certain meanings, and depending on the ruler of that house has a certain meaning, and you're going to know the ruler of the house is based on the time that you were born, the time of day. That detail comes in from knowing what house is ruling the house of self, your rising sign. But I'm going to nutshell it for you, okay? Yeah, I love seeing you guys. I'm happy to be here. So when you're looking at your chart, your sun sign, okay, what most people don't understand, your sun sign is the self you show the world. It's how you want to be seen. It's not actually how you are, it's how you want to be seen. It's the self that you show the world. So it's almost like it's that egoic, this is who I am, this is what I do. It's the part of us that wants to say, I can't change. It's the part of us that says we shouldn't change, because now people expect you to be a certain way. You've been this way for 20 years. You've been this way for 5 years. You've been this way ever since that moment. How you change. It's how you show the world, how you want to be seen. Your sun sign has light attributes and dark attributes. Like, everybody has their ups and downs with their sun sign. And it's how you want to be seen, okay? It's how you want to be seen. Now, your moon, whatever your moon is, your moon sign is the side of yourself that you struggle to accept. The moon sign, your moon, is the aspects of yourself that you struggle to accept. And for a lot of people, because the moon, we're going to get into Lilith, because nobody, and I've watched so many different astrologers and different people talk about what's going on right now in the cosmos, and when I broke it down, the only thing that was truly screaming at me was what Lilith is doing. Lilith has 6 different aspects going on right now. She's making a huge stink with her energy. Like, she's being real loud, and I haven't heard a single astrologer talk about the power of Lilith in this cosmic energy right now. So we're going to get into that. Okay. But the moon is the side of you have the hardest time accepting. Your rising sign is the best parts of you that are coming to be. You know, so whatever your rising sign is, whatever energy you're moving towards, when you start to leave just your sun and you start to rise like a rising star, these are the attributes and qualities that are going to help pick you up and move you up in your life throughout your purpose, right? Throughout your path in developing it. So your rising sign is what you truly do want to strive to embody, you know, and not just the light attributes, but the dark ones too. You know, so keep that in mind, because, you know I'm a Cancer moon, Cancer rising. I'm a sun Sag. I'm a Sagittarius, and everybody, you know, they see I'm social. They know I have tons of friends. I'm an optimist. You know, that's a lot of who I am. That is a lot of who I am, and that's what people see, you know. But my Cancer moon and my Cancer rising has to do with accepting my intuitive gifts, my, you know, not wanting to be direct, you know, and having to kind of go sideways sometimes, because Sagittarius is super uber direct. Sometimes Cancer has to, you know, just move around the issue and not go right at it sometimes, like there's a better way. Tact, right? Emotional tact. Learning that. It's the side of ourselves that we have the hardest time accepting. You know, Cancers are big nurturers too. They're big givers. They don't like not nurturing, and they don't like when it's not received. You know, the claws come out. So, you know, I struggle to accept that part of myself too. The part of me that wants to, you know, nurture endlessly, but also, you know, has to deal with the fact that some people don't reciprocate or appreciate, or they take it for granted or whatever, you know, and that's embracing my claws. You know, I have them for a reason. So, you know, knowing your different aspects and how you battle those within the self is huge this moon cycle, because the sun is conjunct with Mercury, and it's completely opposing the moon. It's completely opposing the moon. So we're having a really hard time right now in the cosmos with who we want to be, who we're trying to portray ourselves to be, who we want to maintain with no growth, right? Not taking into consideration our rising aspects, who we're stuck being, and the shadow aspect that says, hey, I know this isn't how you are, but this is how I need you to react right now, you know. And we've got Pluto and Capricorn in the middle of it, trying to be the buffer, and it's, guys, I'm going to get into this cosmic stuff, all right? I am. So the sun, the moon, and the rising, we know how those affect you and what you're going through in your healing, right? Mercury is how you communicate. Venus is how you love. Mars is how you fight for what you're passionate about. How you stand up for yourself and the causes that you believe in. Jupiter is expansion, luck, which could be good or bad. Expansion can be good or bad. And blessings, which can be outright or in disguise. All right, so Jupiter, you might as well leave that like a wild card. It's like a coin toss, all right? But it's typically lucky, because it's all blessings in the end, right? We just don't always understand it until after. It's what brings you the most opportunity, okay? Saturn is the planet of karma, contracts, debts, and addictions, okay? Addictions to material world things, okay? Money and stuff and the things that we put value on that don't actually have value in our long scheme of things, and that includes people. So karma and Saturn and contracts and debts, you know, this is karmic debts that Saturn deals in. Uranus is the curveball. That's the unexpected. It's the intel. It's the leaps. Like when you ask questions or when you give insight that wasn't necessarily expected, it can change everything. It's the leap of faith moment. It's that extra little nudge of information that's like, oh shit. Right? So wherever Uranus is, it's a curveball. It's unexpected stuff. It's knowledge that can come through at any moment, okay? Neptune is the dream state. daydreams as well as, you know, nighttime dreams. And it's our subconscious. It's our subconscious that manifests. Pluto is the unconscious healer. It's the manifestations that we don't know that we're doing. This is past life karma, you know, things that we've been healing through generations, you know, within family lines of karma, you know, because we all learn from our parents. This is where all of our programming comes from the time we're kids, and we're constantly undoing it, constantly having to undo it. And that's what Pluto's doing right now with the full moon in Scorpio. Scorpio rules Pluto. It's a lot of intense energy. And Neptune, see, right now, Neptune has some tough aspects. Let me get into it. I need to get through this so that I can get into what all this shit means, because it's trying to come out. Pluto, unconscious healer, unknown shit. This is where you don't understand why the universe keeps fucking you over. Your Pluto is where you don't understand why the universe keeps fucking you over. Neptune will tell you, you know why. You know why, because your reality and your dream state, whether it's daydreams or nighttime dreams, aren't aligned. They're not the same. If you're not living your dream, you're living a lie. Neptune will tell you, if you're not living your dream, you're living a lie. And Pluto is the one that says, see, told you. You know this is a cycle. You know this shit goes deep, and you're doing it anyway. Like, Pluto is the one that makes you regret digging a deeper hole. They show you just how long you've been digging. Pluto shows you how long you've been digging. And where your deepest lessons are. Where your deepest soul lessons are. Anywhere you have a cusp. Now, if you're cusping your sun, if you're cusping your moon, if your Venus is cusping, cusps come within 2 degrees of a transit. So if the 0 degree, you know, if you have a planet at 0 degrees, that's a cusp. If it's on the 28th or 29th or the 1st or 2nd degree of a sign, where it's almost out of the sign, but not quite in the new one, and just left the sign fresh into a new one, right? Those are cusp energies. Now, cusps are always opposite elements, like water and air and earth and fire. Like they're always off, and they force balance within the self. They force you to look at both aspects. So for those of you who have sun cusps and moon cusps right now, God knows you are probably feeling like you don't know what the fuck end is up. You know what I mean? Like, because you're all over the place. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't know what the fuck to do. Like, panic mode, you know what I mean, with how strong these oppositions are in the cosmos right now. I also want to talk to you guys real quick about the asteroids that people don't talk about, because the devil's in the details. The devil's in the details. A lot of people don't really get into what these asteroids mean, but they're legit, okay? Chiron, we've heard of, is the wounded healer, and right now Chiron's in Aries, all right? Ceres is the broken heart. Ceres is the heart chakra that needs to heal. It is the part of the self that wants to love itself, but also hates itself. And it's the hating of the self that heals with Ceres. So where your Ceres placement is says a lot about where your self-loathing comes from. Okay, where we let ourselves sink into depression, our Ceres. Pallas, Athena, wherever Pallas is about wisdom and strategy. Pallas, Athena is about taking knowledge and intuition, what you're sensing, and using the two of them together in order to strategize. Pallas Athena is in retrograde right now, which means it's not quite syncing, which means we know what we are guided to do, we know what we're sensing, and we know what we should do, and we're not putting the two together, and that's causing injustice. It's causing like these huge like slaps in the face right now. Juno, the asteroid Juno is tied to the legends of Hera, you know, who's the queen of the cosmos. You know, she's Jupiter's wife, his true wife, and he has many different partners. You know, Jupiter is a player, you know what I mean? He is not faithful in his connection to Hera, and so Juno Juno is the punishment for betrayal of true soul contracts, the highest of soul contracts, which is the one you have with yourself, the one you have with your divine partner, right? When you're not true to yourself, when you're not true to your divine partner, the Juno aspect is where you pay the price. See, people don't talk about these things. Juno is where you pay the price, okay, if you've been betraying yourself. Vesta is the prosperous virgin. She is the pure manifestation energy through self-love and self-love alone. She's the energy that when she pours love into herself, her cup overfloweth to everybody. And it's what you do independently. It's your happiness despite everybody else. You know, it's you being happy without a partner. She's a virgin. You know, she's the prosperous virgin. She decided to never marry. She decided to never be with anybody. And she just manifested success and love and purity and community and all of these things through her own efforts without depending on anybody else. You know, it's the way the universe manifests in its purity for you. Vesta. Fortune. This is the fates. All right, where fortune falls is the fates. This is destiny's door. These are the moments where the universe is like, the door is here and all you have to do is knock on it and not run away from the door. And not run away from the door. Fortune being destiny's door. Wherever that falls in your chart, those are your make or break moments. Those are your make or break moments. Right now, fortune is in Pisces. You're dreaming of it, or it's obsessively on your mind. You can't stop thinking about it. Fortune in Pisces right now. The dream state's telling you which way to go. Your daydreams are telling you which way to go. Even if you don't necessarily like the thoughts you're having, if they're consistent and persistent and they won't go away, it's because there's something that needs to heal there. Something needs to be communicated in order to end that obsessive cycle of thought. You know what I mean? So the fates right now being in Pisces are really, really, really pushing people to pay attention to what they're obsessing over. Pay attention to what you're obsessing over. And does it feel good or does it feel bad? You know what I mean? Is it bringing you joy or is it bringing you anxiety? Because the fates are letting you know where this line is being crossed with the self. Where you're crossing yourself. All right, now Lilith. Lilith, I saved the best for last. Lilith, you know what, hold that. Let me go into Vertex before I get Lilith. Because this has a lot to do with fortune too. The vertex is not an actual thing. It's an imaginary plane. It's an imaginary plane where the sun shines and the aspects on the planet are part light and part dark, right? We're part in day and part in night. All of the planets. It's where that axis with the sun is, where it fades from light to dark. The vertex is your choice between light and dark. The decision that takes you towards achievement and success or throws you down into your depths to find yourself again. Okay, the vertex. And Lilith, listen guys, Lilith is about embracing your demons. She's about embracing the things that scare the shit out of you. Lilith is gung-ho, hell or high water. I don't care what it takes. You know, she's this energy of blind magnificence and believing in the power of truth. The dark truth sometimes, you know, it's the harsh truth, it's the harsh reality. And that's how she teaches. You need to understand, Lilith teaches through harsh truth and harsh reality. The dark side of the moon, the dark side of the self that we don't want to face, right? The dark side of the self that we struggle with accepting, that we need to embrace. And she's all over the energy. All over it right now. So, I took fucking notes. I took some real fucking notes, because right now, right off the bat, just the energies masculine and feminine as far as planetary placements, there's only one planet in a masculine sign. 9 of them are in feminine signs. 9. All these heart chakra elements, Lilith, Ceres, Juno, Venus, the moon, all of these feminine elements are so highlighted right now. If you're not listening to your heart space, if you are not listening to yourself, your inner self is screaming at you. Your heart space is screaming at you, and you are hiding your misery, and you're not doing a good job of it. Trust me. This energy is like busting at the seams. Busting at the seams. The feminine energy, the intuition, where your heart space wants to go is so strong right now, it will break you down. That's how strong the feminine aspect is. It will break you down. Your love of self runs so deep. Your love of self runs so deep that the universe is putting every single pressure that it can on you and everybody else in your life in order to heal these things. Pluto and Saturn. Pluto and Saturn are both retrograde right now. They're both retrograde right now. They're conjunct right now. They're right up there with each other. Pluto and Saturn are like two buddies that just got the green light from God to like go pay back all the karma that they felt owed from people. Like, God gave them a free pass to go wreak havoc on people's lives that did them wrong. Like, Pluto and Saturn right now are like the biggest... All right. Let me break this down in slow pieces before I get carried away. Okay. They're bullies right now. They're bullies. At least that's the way we're taking it, but they're not. Okay, but they're not. It's a malefic energy. They're two malefic planets in retrograde. Super, super close right now, and they're having a blast. They're having a fucking blast dishing all this shit out, making people be like, oh, so that's where I fucked up. Oh, so that's where this person was right. Oh, so that's where I probably should have listened to myself. Oh, that advice I gave that person, that was the universe saying, hey, you need to take your own advice. Like, right now, with the sun and the moon in opposition, and Mercury, with the sun, it's backing the sun. Mercury has the sun's back right now. Everybody's projecting, this is who I am, this is how I want to be seen, you're taking me wrong, you don't understand me, you know, people's perception of you, you're defending it right now. You're defending and communicating the self that you want people to see. That's what's coming off. The problem is what you're showing others and what you're actually feeling is two totally different things. This is the kind of energy that people will look at their partner and say, I love you, knowing that they're leaving. And they haven't said anything to them. This is the kind of energy where, you know, you could be like, yeah, boss, I'll see you next week. And you already know you're leaving the job. You already know you're not going to be there. It's letting somebody know, oh yeah, of course, I'll be there for you, of course, I promise. Knowing you're lying. Knowing on some level that when those words left your mouth, it sounded like a lie. Knowing when the words left your mouth, it sounded like a lie. This is the aspect that we're being confronted with. What we want to be versus what we really feel, and how those are not lining up. And how they're not lining up. Pluto and Capricorn are trining and sextiling the moon and the sun. They're in between. And because trines and sextiles are positive aspects, it's a buffer. It's actually buffering and trying to pull away from this direct opposition, but the way that it's doing it is karmic. People are literally living in self-punishment right now. When you know that you're not where you want to be, when you know you're not happy, when you know that the lies coming out of your mouth are lies, no matter how much you want them to be true, no matter how much you want them to be true, you might want to love somebody and want that to be true because it would make your life so much easier if you legitimately fucking loved them, but you don't. But you don't, and you can't lie to yourself. This is the kind of energy that's out there right now. And when you don't listen to your gut, when you don't take the right actions and connect that stuff, right? Pallas Athena in Libra right now, you know, injustice is getting served. It's retrograding in Libra. If you are not taking the events that you've learned in your life and turning that knowledge of experience into wisdom so that you can literally get out of there in the most effective and efficient way possible. Sorry guys, I know that just cut out for a second. I'm hopefully you guys didn't miss too much of that because I didn't see it go off. But yeah, the injustice is being done to the self. It's self-punishment. It's self-inflicted pain. This is the Scorpio energy of the full moon. Full moon is super highlighted. Scorpio is about self-sabotage. It's about addictions. It's about escaping, trying to run from the self. It's about not wanting to face the darkest depths of yourself, the truth, the deepest truth within the self, because the deep truth might shake up your entire reality. That's what karma is doing with Saturn and Pluto. It's like, listen, we can drag you through the fucking mud to get you there. We can drag you. Or you can just simply walk through the mud one step at a time until you're out. Either way, you're going to go through the mud with this energy. Either way, you're going to go through the mud for the next few months, straight through September. The universe has a huge divine delay right now. It is giving you every opportunity to shut your mind off, because with all the different planets, there's no air. All the major planets, there's no air. Not a single planet is in an air sign. Your mind is not your friend. Your mind is not your friend, and you need to go outside and separate yourself and get some fresh air as often as you need to, because the energy is intense. It's extremely intense. Not only is it super intense, but 5 of them are in fixed signs. You want to talk about dynamics and energies? 5 of the planets are in fixed signs. That stubbornness, and with Capricorn and Saturn and Pluto and all this shit, your stubbornness is, you might as well put your feet in the fire. You might as well put your feet in the fire. I mean, that's what you're doing. You're putting your feet in the fire and pretending it doesn't burn, like you don't want to run. You're being stubborn as hell while you're losing your legs. You know what I mean? That kind of energy. It's fixed, it's stubbornness, and it's grounded with 6 earth signs. 6 planets and earth elements. Especially if you're trying to be stable, trying to, you know, have a certain amount of money, trying for a certain career, trying for, you know, a love that's superficial with a partner. A surface love that doesn't resonate soul deep. Like you love them, but you're not in love with them. It doesn't resonate soul deep. All of that shit right now, if you're staying stubborn and things like that, it is going to prove to be to your detriment. It is going to prove to be to your detriment. It is going to hit you upside, blindside, you name it, in July. June, July is going to be a huge wake-up call for some people. If you're not getting the tower moment now with this weekend and this energy, and you're not getting those little bits of information coming in, it's going to be unfolding over the next couple weeks. It's going to be unfolding into Leo season as the different retrogrades start to peak before they start regressing and unleashing this kind of energy, because Pluto and Capricorn and Saturn right now are taking tally. They're taking note. Oh, this person had a choice right then and they chose this way. Oh, this person had an opportunity to say something right then and they went that way. They're keeping track. Every little time you denied yourself when you were guided to express something, you know, and just because you were guided to express it a certain way does not mean it has to be expressed that way, but whatever you're being guided to express still needs to be expressed in some which way, shape, or form. Some which way, shape, or form. Hey, we have the Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Uranus all in Taurus right now. All in Taurus right now. Lilith, let me talk about Lilith. Lilith is squaring the Sun, Moon, and Mercury. Lilith, the dark side of the moon. The dark side of the moon, right? The part of the self that we have the hardest time embracing. It's our demons. It's the part we tell to shut up. You don't understand. It's fear, right? The part of ourselves that we are afraid of the most is opposing everything we think we are or are striving to be for other people. Everything you are at the core of yourself with Lilith is squaring the fuck up against the moon and Mercury and the sun. She goes, I don't want to hear about your struggles with yourself. I don't want to hear about your addictions. I don't want to hear about your self-loathing. I don't want to hear about your self-sabotage. I don't want to hear about your self-pity. Lilith don't want to hear it, opposing the moon. She doesn't want to hear it, and she's opposing the sun. Who are you really? Stop being who you think you are. Stop being who you're meant to be. Stop being this image that you've created for yourself. You're lying. She's calling your bullshit. Lilith is calling you bullshit on all fronts right now. You know who she's rooting for? You know who she's trining and sextiling with? Venus and Mars and Uranus. Venus and Mars and Uranus. She's talking about fighting for what you're passionate about, fighting for your desires, going to war for what you truly love with Venus, going to war for what is in your heart space. She's telling you with Uranus to take that leap of faith. Take it. Take the jump. Take the fucking jump. Like, Lilith, I mean, she's like taking sides hardcore. She's taken sides, and she's been there cheerleading your highest good authentic self the whole time. Lilith is about embracing the whole self. The side of you that is destructive. The side of you that is destructive, that has to allow things to break. Lilith allows the breakage. She allows it to fall apart. You know, it's Lord Shiva energy. It's this destruction of the darkness within the self by embracing it. If you embrace your darkness as your light, as the highest good of all, in the long run, we're not talking Band-Aids. Lilith don't talk fucking Band-Aids, okay? Lilith doesn't use Band-Aids. Lilith doesn't put things off. Lilith doesn't wait patiently with this energy. Lilith is like, if you don't fucking cauterize that wound right now, bitch, you gonna bleed the fuck out. That's exactly it. You don't singe that shit shut right now. Like, it's gonna bleed out. It's gonna bleed out. And we're gonna see the blessing start to unfold, whether it's a true miracle or a blessing in disguise. We're gonna see that roll out in July, moving into August. With Jupiter going back direct, that's gonna be huge for those of you who are manifesting blessings and blessings in disguise alike. They're going to be starting to show themselves come July and August. If you haven't been truly in touch with your heart space, like, you got to be honest with yourself and others and know where there's a will, there's a way. Like, Lilith is this energy right now where if you jumped, right? Let's just say you jumped off a metaphorical cliff. Okay, we're not talking about real life jumping here. But let's just say you metaphorically were jumping off the cliff, and everything in you, right? Saturn, Pluto, all of these aspects, your sun, your moon in opposition, all of these aspects are telling you if you jump, you're going to die. All of these aspects are telling you if you take that leap of faith, you're going to die, you're going to crash and burn, you're going to be in a million pieces, you will be shattered beyond repair. And Lilith is like, I've got wings waiting for you. Trust they will be there if you jump. Trust you have wings. Trust you have somebody out there willing to love you the way you need to be loved through this whole process of destruction and chaos, what seemingly chaos, you know, things falling apart to fall into place. Lilith is asking you to trust that she's going to send you wings. You're not going to die. She's like, please trust me. You're not going to die. You're not going to die. Life is not going to end. Matter of fact, I promise it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. She's making a promise. And, you know, we're not used to trusting that part of ourselves. We're not used to trusting that part of ourselves. Truly. When it comes to some of the biggest things, right? Because as we get into these asteroids, and what they're doing. Chiron being in Aries is about healing the self. That's about healing the self. Ceres being the heart chakra, it's retrograding in Sagittarius. And so healing the heart chakra right now, with Sag's energy, because Sag is all about blessings. Sag is all about, you know, I want to help you expand. I want to help you grow. I want to help you become your rising energy. You know, Sagittarius is that luck. And it's in retrograde. So we're realizing now, truly realizing now, how our stubbornness, our unwillingness to grow and expand out of who we think we are is truly affecting our heart space and causing us to loathe the self. Truly causing us to self-loathe. Because we realize at this point, from a hindsight perspective, where we fucked up. We're realizing it. And that's hard to acknowledge. We're realizing how we are our own worst enemy. How our fears about the things that we hide end up hurting us in the end. Right? It's a very unfortunate turn of events when you realize that all of the answers were right in front of you the whole time and you just blocked it out. You know, and that's the unfortunate truth coming from Ceres. I was talking about Pallas and Libra and that being retrograde. Now, because that is the only thing technically in an air sign, even though it's not a planet, it's just an asteroid, it's a clarifying, you know, energy. Anything you're trying to do or manipulate, you know, like any thought processes you're going on with in the mind, trying to manipulate or getting around the issue, if you're trying to beat around the bush and doing things indirectly, you're gonna end, it's gonna be like, pfft, you know, like those little, fuck. You know, when you're not being fair to yourself, and you're giving more than you're getting, or you're taking and taking and taking more than you're giving, and you're trying to maintain it, right? You're trying to maintain it or stop it. Like, there's certain ways to do that. Be smart. Ground. Definitely ground. I would not let your mind get the best of you. That kind of energy, you can get lost in the details. You can overanalyze with Libra and Pallas and retrograde. Like, you can get lost in the details trying to be fair. Trying to do what's best for everybody. Trying to be fair. Trying to people please. Trying not to upset anybody. Where the rest of you, you know, like Lilith is like, blow the fuck up out of there. Like, rocket through the fucking air. Away from whatever the fuck you're in. That's toxic. That's not healthy for your energy. That doesn't feel good. Right? Yeah. Juno's in Cancer. Juno, we were talking about betrayals, right? The punishment for betrayal. When you defy or go against the highest of soul contracts. You know, for those of you who are on the twin flame journey or have unknowingly stumbled across it, you know, whether you understand what it is or not. For Juno, like Hera and Zeus, they are the divine partners. You know, they are the divine couple. And Juno, the feminine, is constantly being cheated on. You know, Zeus is unfaithful as fuck. He's always running to other women and whatever, and she's always dealing with all of, you know, these baby mamas and, you know, all these gods and goddesses and demigods and, you know, popping up because, you know, Zeus is, He doesn't know how to put a fucking condom on. So she's punishing, right? She's punishing. Hey Pop, how are you? Yeah, she's punishing right now, and she's in Cancer. She's in Cancer, and Cancer rules the house of the home. So whether it's home related or not, what your karma actually is, she's punishing you on the home front. She's punishing you on the home front. So you may be losing a home. You may be having battles with your partner inside the home. Your workplace, your home away from home, you could be dealing with exceptional bullshit there. You know, botches in your money, botches in your pay, you know, things like that. Watch, you know, Juno in the sign of Cancer. You might have partners that are unfaithful, cheating on you too. You know what I mean? Because that is about, yeah, home and partnerships within the home. So there could, yeah, I mean, you might find out that you owe more money than you thought you did, or you got hit with some weird fee, or it's that one time of the year where a certain fee comes in and you forgot all about it. Like, everything to do with justice being served is on the home front. Any scales that are out of balance is coming back into balance on the home front. So anticipate crazy shit. Make sure you turn the fucking stove off when you're done cooking. Don't cook drunk and leave it on. You know what I mean? Like, be fucking smart, because the universe, you got shit coming to you. The best thing you could do is just come clean with how you feel about all these home issues. Taking ownership for where you are in it, because I guarantee if that's where it's blowing up, that's where you've been falling short. The home is the self. Vesta's in Aries with Chiron, right? They're both in Aries. Vesta is the prosperous virgin and Chiron's the wounded healer. So where you've been wounded the most within the self, where you prosper, where that starts to heal, is when you become independent. So right now, the universe, the energies, the devil in the details, right? No matter what, they're pushing you towards independence from toxic situations. Whatever's going on in the home right now, the universe is pushing you to heal the heart chakra. It's healing your ability to see your mistakes. It's healing your ability to take ownership of those mistakes so that you can officially get out of these cycles. Like, I'm telling you, Pluto and Saturn are like fucking bullies right now. Nobody's getting away with shit. It doesn't matter if you're a good person or a bad person. If you are dishonoring yourself in any way by over-giving, by creating an imbalance, right, where you give more than you get, or you take more than you give, when you're creating imbalances, all of those things are being hit right now. Good person, bad person, doesn't matter. You could be a fucking earth angel not being true to yourself and get fucking clobbered. You can be an asshole to everybody else, but you know what? You're staying true to who the fuck you are and you're being honest. And the universe is like, hey, why is the asshole getting everything he wants? It's not because he's being an asshole. It's not because he's being malicious. He's talking in harsh truths to people. He's spelling it out for people. They might not like it and view him as an asshole, but he's technically not being a fucking asshole. Honesty is self-love. People get it twisted. You know, so Fortune being in Pisces, listen, you know what your dreams are. You know what your aspirations are. You know what you want to get done. You know who you do and don't want to be with. You know what job is making you happy and what job is making you miserable. You know all of these things. You know all of these things. Now, anything that doesn't feel good is always meant to be temporary. So if you're surrounded by a bunch of shit that don't feel good, you're creating a huge tower moment for yourself where you're forcing the universe's hand as far as getting you out of that not feel good stuff. And sometimes that's the universe saying, okay, you want to get drugged through the mud instead of walking through it? Like, fine, I'll drag you. You don't want to walk through the mud. It's hard. Your feet get stuck. The universe said, fine, I'll drag you. It might be a lot faster if I drag you, but it's gonna fucking hurt. You're better off taking the steps. Yeah, you're gonna be a little tired. Yeah, it's gonna take some fucking effort. You're gonna have to prove your own strength to yourself. These are the energies. These are the energies in the cosmos. The anti-vertex and the vertex is between Pisces and Virgo. Pisces and Virgo. The vertex, you following your dreams, whether they're daydreams or nighttime dreams, quite literally, you following your dreams, because the answers are coming in dream state. They're coming in dream state. You might be obsessively thinking about it, daydreaming about it. Can't get it out of your mind. If it feels good to fantasize a certain way about someone or something, or a certain job or a certain move, you know, the whole idea of a fresh start, whatever it is, whatever you're dreaming of, that's the light road. That's the light road. That is the path to success through blessings and miracles right now. The impossible made possible. Like, this Lilith energy is rooting for the underdog. Like, rooting for the underdog. The black horse. Like, she's rooting for the impossible made possible. Because you don't realize just how possible it is. Everything going on in the outer circumstance will tell you no way. No fucking way. No fucking way. No. You can. You might have to walk through the mud. It might be tiring. It might, you know, be draining. But damn it, you will be free and you won't be dragged through. You won't have scars and wounds and other shit that you need to fucking heal after. You're better off just getting through it. Yeah, you're tired and drained, but you're unscathed. Seriously, when the universe drags you through the mud sometimes, we get so fucking beat up, we don't think we're gonna live. We don't think we could fucking make it through that shit. You know, the universe hits hard. Hits hard when it drags you through the mud. Don't do it to yourself, you know? Don't do it to yourself. You know, they say millionaires don't listen to astrologers, billionaires do. Billionaires do. And that's why when I do these cosmic energies, I want y'all to understand. We might not all be destined to be millionaires, but we're all destined to be free and happy in our life. We all have that destiny should we so choose it for ourselves. Having the anti-vertex, the shadow in Virgo, the dark side of Virgo is manipulation. The dark side of Virgo is being petty. The dark side of Virgo is pettiness, holding a grudge, the little details that matter so much that don't fucking matter. It's the dark side of Virgo. If you're holding on to little things. You know, Scorpio, and the full moon is the planet of revenge. You know, the dark side of Scorpio is revenge, feeling hurt and being vindictive, wanting to get people back, wanting them to suffer like you suffered, when really in the end all you do is end up hurting yourself. This is the cosmic energy that everybody's learning right now. These are the lessons that everybody's healing through. This is the general collective energy. You know, if anybody wants me to break down your birth chart and tell you what your shit is, I will tell you. I offer it as a service. Just reach out to me at Divine Rebel Readings, because trust me, you will understand yourself a whole lot more. I know y'all saw Joanna freak out when after I did her her birth chart breakdown. She was all over my Facebook. She was like, oh my God. But she's been great, you know, like you start to accept certain aspects of yourself when certain things start to come to life and you embrace yourself and you know what, it's not bad being me. It's not bad being this way. It's beautiful that I could be this way. You know, and even my destructive energies are blessings, you know, they're beautiful. And you start to see the bigger picture of how to love your whole self. Not just the self that you want to be, not just the self that you want others to see, not just the self that you want to embrace but have a hard time with, but the part of you that you always shut off because you thought it was bad. It's not bad. There's no parts of you that are bad. There's parts of you that are misunderstood that need some direction or some finessing. But it's not bad. It's not bad. The only thing that's going to hurt you is self-deception and self-sabotage, you know? So don't fall victim to that, you know? And this energy, if we have things within the self that we haven't settled, you know, that we don't feel has been balanced or we don't feel has been cleared and it's a loose end that needs to get tied up, you know, that we can't get it off our minds, the universe is putting you in a position where it's going to tie that loose end up. It's going to tie the loose ends up. And sometimes that's hard. Sometimes we get dragged through the mud. Sometimes we can dodge the bullet and take the sure but steady route through. That's not as painful. You know, it's still hard, but it's not as painful in the end. It doesn't have to burn. It doesn't have to sting. It doesn't have to get infested and fester. You know, nothing has to be broken. You don't have to be, you know, paralyzed by fear. And the results of what happens, you know, you can get guidance, you know. You can do what your heart is guiding you to do. You can listen to your intuition. You know when the words coming out of your mouth sound like a lie. You know, because it stops you in your mind and you recognize that. And the more you do that, I'm telling you, you're not doing yourself any favors. So, with those being the energies in the cosmos, right now, I'm going to pull some cards. I pulled 5 decks and my truth cards. And I want to start there. I'm going to start with my masculine and feminine custom decks. Okay, so we're going to use the masculine as the head space, the feminine as the heart space. So take it as it resonates with you, because we're all divine masculine and feminine. All right. For those of you who need these messages, what time is it on the 51-minute mark? Okay. So this way I can timestamp it after. What's the truth on our conscious mind that we are refusing to see right now? What is the truth on our conscious mind? Telling yourself you're cutting through all the bullshit when you're not. Struggling waiting on somebody else when you know you need to let go. Wanting to spend the rest of your life with someone but not doing anything to get it, and so you're losing them. You're depriving yourself the overflow of joy. You're making excuses. I'm cutting through all the bullshit. I'm waiting on you, but I know I need to let go. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you in reverse. What we're consciously doing is telling ourselves that we're doing the right thing. That we need to struggle, that we'll get through it. No, you're not meant to struggle. You're not meant to get through it. You're meant to release it and let it go. You're meant to release it and let it go. You're waiting in vain with this energy. Waiting in vain. The answers that you seek, if you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, this is your higher self, the overflowing joy that you really truly do want, that you think is unattainable, that's what's stopping you. Consciously, that's what's stopping you. Believing in the struggle, believing that you have to suffer. You don't have to suffer. You're not cutting through bullshit. You're making more. If you're telling yourself you're cutting through bullshit, you're making more. If you're telling yourself you're waiting on somebody else, universe is waiting on you. Universe is waiting on you. You want to spend the rest of your life in some dream come true, then you need to stop blocking it straight up. Straight up. I'm telling you, your thoughts, right? No air in the cosmos. Your thoughts are not your friend. Your reasoning right now, your logical reasoning is not your friend. It is not your friend. Don't do it. Fucking learn to trust your intuition more. You don't need a why. You don't need a reason. You don't need to wait on timing. Don't wait for the perfect time. It'll never come. And when that time comes that is divinely perfect because it can't wait on you anymore, it's going to be the tower moment crashing down. It's going to be the reality hit. It's going to be that, see, you've been lying to yourself and sabotaging yourself the whole fucking time thinking you were going to get away with it, and you're not. You know, don't lie to yourself, guys. Don't lie to yourself. It doesn't matter if you start to secretly plan things in your highest good on your own accord. You need an exit strategy, start planning your exit strategy. Don't tell a fucking soul. Don't tell a soul. If you need an exit strategy to get the hell out, reach out to your earth angels, the people that support you, the curveball, the wings that you don't know you had, and just take the leaps of faith. Take the leaps of faith. You know, plan your exit strategy if you need an exit strategy to get out. You're allowed to be free. Allowed to be free. Yeah, the heart space with the feminine attributes being blown up right now, I'm telling you the truth about how I feel. Your heart space is being super clear with how it feels. If you're miserable, your heart space is letting you know it. You can't put this facade on forever. You can't wear this mask forever. Universe is breaking you. Your heart space, the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Spades. Yeah, the reverse is, I tried to tell you, but you wouldn't hear it, and that's the problem. You're hearing her now. You're hearing the heart space loud and clear now. You're hurting now. Shit, 3 of Swords was on the bottom of the deck. Like, yeah, you weren't there when I needed you the most. Like, you're not here for me now. You're not listening to your heart, and you're not listening to yourself. You weren't there for yourself before. And that's why you're getting all this karmic shit now. When you don't listen to yourself, when you go against what would feel good, what would bring you peace and relief, no matter how selfish it feels, because you'd rather do for somebody else and it's burdening to your energy, you're in the wrong place. And your heart space has been trying to tell you that over and over and over and over, and you're going to wonder why you're alone in the end, because this is the 5 of Pentacles. This is the, if you don't fucking listen to me, how many times we have to reset? How many times do we have to reset? You don't listen to me? You don't listen to your heart? Let the truth set you free. Let the truth set you free. Why are you living in your lie? It doesn't feel good. For who? For who? For people? For them? Who are they? How good are you to them if you're not good to yourself? How can you be better for them being better for yourself? How could doing what you know you need to do for you benefit everybody? Look at it from that point of view. Don't look about what you're going to lose. Look about what living in your truth you could actually have to gain. Look at what you could actually have to gain. The truth, where there is a will, there is a way. Where there is a will, there is a way. No doubt. I'm afraid if I try again and open up, you're going to leave again, and I don't trust you yet. In reverse. You know you can trust. See, those are the fears. Those are the fear energies. The Pluto, the Capricorn, the Saturn retrogrades telling you to be afraid. Be so afraid of your divine path. The energies here are telling you be so afraid of your authentic self. Be so afraid of your authentic self. But the truth in your heart knows. The only reason why it didn't work out before is because you weren't being true to yourself. Because you weren't standing in your authenticity. Because you weren't just following your heart space. Now you're paying the price for it. You know what I mean? Like, the heart space wants to show you how strong you can be. When you work together, when that Pallas Athena goes direct, when you start to be able to say, okay, this is what my heart wants, and this is what my head wants. This is what makes sense to me. This is my truth. This is the truth in my consciousness. How can I put them together? How? You just do it. Like the universe, the alchemist, let the universe show you what you create when you mix this ingredient with that ingredient. When you mix your truth with spark and fire. When you mix love with passion. That Venus-Mars energy that is aspecting with Lilith. She's asking you to trust her. Watch. Watch what happens when you put two base metals that are seemingly worthless together. They can create gold. They can create magic. They can create value beyond your wildest dreams. Trust. Trust that your truth, the truth in your mind, trust that when you let your heart space validate it, that you follow it, it works out. Even if it's a little hard, even if it's a little tiring, even if it feels like you're walking through the mud. Like I said, it is better than being drugged the fuck through it. Better than being drugged. Okay? Truth. So with that truth on the table, let's get into the oracle card, shall we? Let's get into these energies. This is Work Your Light by Rebecca Campbell. Okay. What message does the universe want you to hold with you throughout this entire energy process? What does it just want in your mind? And you don't have to focus on, what if I forget it? Listen, it's in your subconscious memory. As long as you know that's there and you trust that message is within you and that it will, come forward when you need it the most, that you'll remember when you need it the most, then you're good. Okay, so don't worry about forgetting these messages. Just know that as you take them on for yourself, this awareness, how it resonates, you won't forget. All right, so what messages does the universe have in the highest to guide you in the highest and the most effective and efficient way possible in order to overcome this and embrace our whole selves, in order to achieve satisfaction and happiness and all of that stuff? Mirror. Look in the mirror. Who or what is triggering you? Getting in touch with yourself at the water level, the emotional level. If you're upset with other people, how are you upset with yourself? If you're angry at other people, how are you angry at yourself? If you're in gratitude for other people, how are you grateful to yourself? If you're receptive to the love of other people, then you are also receptive to the love that you give yourself. If you're being betrayed by other people, how are you betraying yourself, your truth? Self-betrayal. Betrayal comes from self-deception, lying to the self, knowing that the words you're speaking are false because you want them to be true, but not because they are. Betrayal comes from speaking words that you know are untrue, even if you want them to be. You know they're not. Look in the mirror. Look at what you're manifesting. Look at what you're putting out. Look at your actions. You want things to change. You want things to change and nothing's changing. How are you not changing? How are you being stubborn and not changing? How are you not reflecting on yourself? How are you not paying attention to the effect of your ripple? If things are not going your way, don't ask the universe, why is this happening to me? Ask yourself, where was I not being true to me? And if the answer is, I wasn't. If your reaction is, to anybody, to be non-reactive, and know that their energy has nothing to do with yours, that they're freaking out for nothing, and you're not reacting with anger, and you're not reacting with being upset and crying and being sad, and you're not reacting with grief, or you're not reacting with hate and anger and wanting revenge, and you're not reacting. If you're in a place of stillness, despite everybody else's crazy energy, that is showing you how solid you are within yourself, how in control you are of yourself, and therefore everything is happening perfectly, whether it's falling apart or turning into a miracle. Pleased to meet you. This is all about the mirror. This whole healing process. That's the only card I need to pull from that deck. It's the whole healing process. It's all about understanding how you manifest. It's truly understanding the law of attraction and how to make it work for you and how it seemingly works against you. You know, the egoic mind, how it seemingly works against you. Yeah, this just flew out. I'm putting the other card back in and this one flipped over. Don't dim to fit in. Don't change yourself and what you want to be and what you want to do and what you want to experience and what you dream of. Don't dim your shine or hold yourself back. None of yourself. Embrace all of it. Don't hold any parts of yourself back and say they're no good. They don't help me. All parts of you serve you. All parts of you serve the highest. All of you. Good, bad, indifferent, whether you like it or loathe it, it doesn't matter. All aspects of yourself. The sun, the moon, the rising, the Lilith. Don't dim yourself. How are you dimming yourself in order to fit in? With society, with family, with work, with friends, with partners. How are you trying to fit into what they want you to be instead of just being yourself? Instead of just being yourself. Big focus, looking in the mirror. How are you dimming your shine? 99% is not 100. 99% is not 100. The universe will make sure you get what you get for that 1%. It's not going to let it by. It's not going to let it by you. Well, 99% is good enough. No, the universe is working on you to get to 100%. The universe wants you 100%. Your authenticity. 99 does not cut it. 99 manifests bullshit one time out of 100. And it does not feel good. Sacred Rebel Oracles. Okay. What card? What message does the universe have with this energy? For everyone, what? Faith in the process. If you're praying and praying and praying and praying and praying for something to work out, have faith that everything's happening perfectly. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, I manage Divine Rebel readings. You can actually get the link and stuff in my About section on my profile. Faith in the process. The little birdie on your back that won't leave you, that won't abandon you, that's still there for you. That little birdie in your ear like, hey, it's okay. You know, she might not feel like she has wings, but she does. She's quite literally, she has wings on her back and she don't even realize it because she's not looking at it that way. The things being communicated to you, the messages that you're receiving, the things resonating with you. Yeah, she's got a little birdie right in front of her too. Pulling the wagon. But she's got her eyes closed and she's praying. She's got her third eye, like she's sensing it. She knows something needs to give and she don't have the, maybe you didn't have the strength, right? To do what needed to be done. You saw it. You know what you needed to do. You saw it, but you didn't have the courage to do it. This is having faith that no matter what, it's going to work out in the highest good. It is. And at the end of the day, you're going to be moving forward no matter what, because that's the only direction. There's no such thing as backwards. Every step is forward. Some steps we take forward end up taking us right back to where we started, but every step is forward. Some which way, shape, or form. You cannot take steps back. That's why people say, well, my relationship is broken beyond repair. Listen, maybe some contracts are. Maybe some contracts aren't meant to stay around. They're in your life for a short period of time, or even a lengthy period of time, but then they're done. Eventually you hit a dead end. And other roads you don't even realize you're going down. Like, she's on the faith wagon. You really got to trust the universe and hop on the faith wagon. Trust. It's all going to work out. It's all going to work out. Know that what you fear appears, and you're fearing it for a reason. You're fearing it for a reason. If you're afraid something's going to happen, you know it's going to happen and it's bad. You know it. You feel it coming. You know it's not resonating. It's vibing. It's not good. Don't do it. Don't do it. Trust. There's a reason why you don't have to people please right then and say, okay, I'll do it anyway because, you know, I don't want to be judged, or I don't want to hear it, or, you know, everybody's going to abandon me and I'm going to be by myself. You know, I'm pretty much jumping ship and I'm going to lose everybody in my life. Well, listen, you're going to lose them all anyway. If you sense it's coming, you're going to lose them all anyway. So why get drugged through the mud? Why not just walk? Why not just walk? If you're not getting drugged through and you're walking by, you might find somebody who wants to take a break from all the walking and mud wrestle and just have fun in the fucking mud for a while with you. And by the time you're done, you're probably walking arm in arm with your new buddy, like, yeah, we walked through the mud together. Got a damn good time too. You know? Faith in the process. You're being guided back to stability, guys. The number 32. 3 is the ascension. It's the Trinity, right? It's the Trinity. Accepting all parts of the self, body, mind, spirit. The head, the heart, the intuition. All of it. It all comes together. If you're praying for an out because it doesn't feel good, the universe will answer. Just don't get all upset when, you know, it doesn't necessarily happen the way you envisioned or the way you wanted, because the universe is like, well, I told you could have walked. And you're like, well, I didn't know you were going to drag me. Like, you could have carried me through the mud so I didn't get my feet dirty. Universe is like, bitch, that is way too much work on my half. That is way too much work on my half. I'll tie you up and drag you. Let's go. Boop. You'll heal. Universe is like, psh, you'll heal. You'll figure it out eventually. Yeah, the universe is pushing you to ascend. It's pushing you to gain stability within the self. It's pushing you to balance. Right? 2 is the balance. It's pushing you to balance. You're being guided to balance your karma, to choose it for yourself. You can choose to balance your karma without the universe having to make you pay for it outright in the physical, because you refuse to acknowledge that you had another option. You do not have to punish yourself. You don't. Have faith. If you want to be punished for it and you feel like you want to get to the point where you finally feel like you've suffered enough that you deserve to be happy now, the universe will give it to you. If you've got to fucking suffer to realize that you deserve happiness, the universe will give it to you. Or you can just simply say, you know what, universe, I know I deserve to be happy, and I don't need to be drugged through the fucking mud for years or however long, not another moment. I can walk. I don't have to make it that painful on myself, you know, and trust that things are going to work out. Trust that when you act in your highest good, when you act in your truth, when you act in the integrity of your heart and soul, and you follow your passion, you follow your path, no matter what anybody else says, even if everybody's against you. Even if everybody's against you, don't you be against you. If everybody else is against you, that's the universe in the mirror triggering you to reflect going against yourself. If everybody is seemingly against you, it's the universe trying to trigger you into a cycle that would have you go against yourself. When you are the last man standing, when you are the last man standing, fighting for you, and everybody else is against you, you are on the right fucking path. Especially if those people don't understand you. They don't understand who you are and what you do and what you dream and what you feel. They don't get you. The universe is taking them out for a reason. When the angels in your life start to push you away, when the angels in your life that would never do you wrong, that would never lie to you, never betray you, when those people start to distance themselves, knowingly or unknowingly, that's your cue, like, hey, the people that I love and trust that would support me no matter what are getting further away. Maybe I'm too wrapped up in all these toxic energies. Maybe I need to let those toxic energy go. Let them go. Let the toxic energy go. And lo and behold, you'll find out you have wings. That those people that loved you, that were creating distance because your energy was toxic around these people, they'll come right back. Oh, your energy's clear now? Great. Oh, you're seeing clear now? Great. Awesome. Glad to have you back. I missed you. That's the you I know. That's the you I remember. God, I missed you so much. You were so lost in that cycle for a while, weren't you? Your friends are still there. The good ones, the ones that are meant to be there, will always be there. Always. You don't gotta change. You don't gotta change. Just gotta go back to who you were. Digress to make progress. Go back to who you were. Go back to your true self. Go right on back. Before you had soul contracts, before you had karma, before you had programming and being jaded, and go back. You don't got to keep manifesting bullshit for yourself. Alright, universe has your back, deck. Yeah, do whatever it takes to get closer to that consciousness. Wisdom consciousness. You know, the owl is symbolic of Pallas Athena. Putting the head space and the heart space together, trusting your intuition, that spirit, the trinity of the self. Loving all aspects of the self, including the shadow that is our framework. The dark side of the moon, the Lilith. The owl has its eyes closed because it doesn't need to see with its two eyes. It sees here, it senses it, it feels it. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter what other people see. It doesn't matter how other people judge with their two eyes. They don't fucking know your life. They don't know you. They don't know what's going to bring you happiness in your life better than your intuition does. Not a single person in this world knows what your happiness is meant for you more than you and your soul does. You have no idea what happiness is coming to you when you let your soul speak and you take action for it. You have no idea. You don't have to see the happiness in front of you to know it's coming. You can feel it. You can feel it ahead of time. Talking about moons. Bottom of the deck. Find a deeper meaning in personal growth amid the discomfort. Divine discomfort. This Pluto, Saturn, like rampage. Quite literally, rampage. Karmic rampage going on in the universe right now. The universe is pushing you to extreme discomfort. Extreme pressure on all fronts, whether it's emotional, mental, psychological, physical, financial, sexual pressure. All kinds of pressure right now to push you to a place where you are divinely discomforted to go find your joy because you can't take the discomfort anymore. Discomfort's meant to be temporary. You learn from it, you get the deeper meaning from it on a soul level, and you go. You get the wisdom and you go. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, universe. If I gotta get hammered, hammer me because I'm not getting it. Fine, I'll take the hammer. I'm looking, I'm legitimately trying, right? Instead of, if this is the mindset you're in, it's okay. Hindsight's 20/20. You will see why. You will see where things went wrong. You will get the oh moments. How you react is everything. How you react is everything. When you think you've surrendered, surrender more. The art of manifestation is in surrender. Talking about faith, I drew on this card for a reason. I crossed out that hope word. Hope's a bullshit word. Faith is different. Hope means you know it has a potential to fail. Faith means you know it won't. Faith is the conduit for miracles. Faith. We have faith. It'll work out exactly as it's meant to for our highest good. Everything going on in our lives is divinely perfect. Even the discomfort, even your mistakes, quote unquote mistakes. They're not mistakes once you learn. They're not mistakes anymore once you learn from it. Now it's your teacher. Now your mistake is your teacher. It's all about perspective. It's all about perspective. You're either going to drown in your life or you're going to realize you know how to swim. Sometimes you got to jump. Sometimes you got to jump. And know that the universe is going to catch you. Surrender. Surrender. Like, quite literally. Put that wish out to the universe. Dandelions. If you're seeing dandelions all around you, they're telling you to surrender. Make a wish to the universe and surrender it. Let it bring it to you. Don't dictate how. Accept that whatever comes is going to bring you that wish. It's being persistent for a reason. The thoughts in your mind are being persistent for a reason. Don't ignore them. I'm going to pull my Whispers of Love deck. I use these as action cards, self-love action cards. You know, what action can you take in the highest good of self? You know what I mean? That creates that ripple. That creates that ripple in the outer. You know, that's healing for everybody. You know, whether it's healing through discomfort or healing through, you know, miracles and love, you know? Yeah, be in the present and dream of the future. It's all about what you're dreaming. We're talking about this. When we dream, everything is possible. It's all possible. What you're daydreaming about, what you're nighttime dreaming about, like the things that are coming out in your dream state, the things that are persistently in your mind, they want to be a part of your present. They want to be a part of your present. So in order to take it from the future, right? In order to take the vision of happiness and gratitude and joy and relief and peace and freedom, in order to take those visions and those dreams from the future into our present, we have to be fully aware of how we are the ones that create it in the now moment. We can't get there if we're staying where we are, because where we are is where we are, and where we are is not there. You can't manifest what you want from a place of what you don't want. So you have to say, fuck everything that you don't want, truly. Fuck everything that you don't want. If something is meant to be in your life, or someone is meant to be in your life, at some point or another, they'll be there. They'll come back. You'll be in their path. You know, someone that you don't necessarily want to let go of right now, but maybe you should. Because you just know, you're sensing. Everything is sensing right now. Everybody's intuition's through the roof. Everybody's sensing is through the fucking roof, because the universe is like, please don't ignore me. Please don't ignore me. Please don't ignore me. I've got the volume turned all the way the fuck up. All the way up. Don't pretend like you don't hear this shit. You're gonna piss the universe off. If the universe turns this shit up on full fucking volume so that you can't miss it, you can't not feel it, you can't not sense it, if it turns it up on full fucking volume and you ignore it, I'm telling you, the universe, like Lady Justice, it's blind, it does not care. You're either in your truth, you're in your authenticity, you're speaking from a place that's real, or you're not. You know, or you're not. Be in the present. Take your dream and bring it into your present. You do that by saying, okay, what actions can I do? What actions can I take, right? What can I do? Where can I go? What is the first step? What is the first step? We're going to bring our future into our present, our dreams into our present. Yeah, love is all around you. There's love everywhere all the time. Simply acknowledge it as truth. The universe is talking to you all the time. It's giving you messages, reassurance all the time. When you're in a state of peace and you're not being bothered by anybody, it's loving you. When you need somebody there to support you because you need that nurturing, they're there for you. If you need to learn through discomfort, that's there for you too. It's all love. It's all love. Light, dark, and everything in between. It's all love. The universe is just loving you endlessly all day, every day. Universe is loving you endlessly all day, every day through light and dark. Teaching you about yourself, how to love yourself, how to follow your intuition. Do as you're guided. Enjoy life. Love's all around you. Everything going on in your life right now is gearing you to accept the blessings that are due to come into your life. What you were always meant to have. You know what I mean? Happiness is what you were always meant to have. You weren't meant to be born and be stressed out your whole life. You weren't born to be somebody else other than who you are. You were born to be you. You weren't born to be somebody else. You weren't born to be somebody's expectation. You weren't born to be somebody's little program. You were born to be yourself. You were born to find yourself. Remember yourself. Go back to yourself. Love yourself. And then manifest everything from there. You don't find what you need out there. You find what you need here. And then everything you need out there just shows up. Love is all around you. You might not like the house that you're in. You might complain about it. But you know what? Some people don't freaking have one. Some people don't have a roof. We forget the things that we're supposed to be grateful for. You're like, oh yeah, I have this person or that person in my life and they cause me all these troubles and all these dramas and, you know, I want to be with this person, but, you know, yada, yada, yada. I can't get away. I have obligations and whatever. Well, you're not being grateful for the fact that you can leave the person you're with and actually be with the person you want to be with. You're not grateful for the fact that you're both alive on this freaking earth right now and can do it. You know what I mean? Karma's a bitch. Karma's a bitch. Scorpio full moon. Karma is the biggest fucking bitch. It's the biggest bitch. We don't need it. We don't need to draw it to ourselves. At the end of the day, we do it to ourselves. We all know. Tarot, oracle cards, they don't tell you shit you don't already know. They validate for you. They verify. That's why it resonates, because it's telling you what you already know and sense. And if you don't adjust your track, that's the shit that's gonna hit. That's the shit that's gonna hit. Tarot doesn't tell you things you don't know. Tarot tells you things you already anticipate. Yeah, act as if your partner is here. Act as if your perfect partner is there. Like me, I know in my partnership, I know I'm going to be independent, working, doing my own thing. You know what I mean? I like to eat certain foods and dress and do my hair and, you know, throw some makeup on. I like to be lazy too. You know what I mean? Like, if my partner was there, I wouldn't change. I wouldn't change. You know? If you want to be with someone who you're not with right now, if you are if you know there's someone you're meant to dance with, if you know that something needs to be revealed, right? We have moth energy, revelation in the night energy, that dark Lilith aspect. Don't act or think that they hate you or that they wouldn't come back. Especially if you're in separation right now, you know, twin flames. Don't think that they wouldn't. Don't think that you're hated. Act as if your partner is there. your perfect partner is there. If you know that, you know, you're your happiest when you're making money, you feel the best when you're able to give and provide. You know, you want to be able to do that for a partner. Do all of those things, whether they're there or not. You know, be kind to yourself, nurture yourself, step out, take that time on your own, you know, to do your thing. Don't overdo everything. You know, nothing should be overdone. It's all about balance, guys. We can all overdo our escapes. We can all overdo certain things, you know, just don't act as if they're not there or they're never coming. Don't act like you're not lovable. Don't act like you're not lovable. I don't care who you are. Everybody has a plus side. Everybody has their positives. Don't get so caught up in self-loathing. It's too easy with this energy. Feeling bad for the self-pity, it's way too easy right now. It's way too easy. Yes, you are where you are, and yes, you manifested it for yourself, some which way, shape, or form. Yes, you can take ownership of that. And now that you have, you can take ownership for everything else you're going to create now too. If you want your partner to be there, whether you have someone in your life or not, act as if they are with you, so you will always consider them. If I were with the love of my life, would they approve of that? Would they feel good about that? Would I want my partner doing that? Acting as if your partner's there. Act as if they're there. Even if they're not. You're loyal to somebody, stay loyal. Doesn't matter if they're there or not. You're a loyal person, just be loyal. If you're not a hoe, don't go out there being a hoe, because it's not you. Be considerate. Be considerate. You know, if you wouldn't want your partner to do it to you, don't do it to them. Whether they're there or not. If you don't want your partner to be a jerk, don't be a jerk, whether they're there or not. You don't want a lazy partner, you don't want to be you don't want to be a lazy partner, don't be fucking lazy, whether they're there or not. You want a partner that's driven and self-sufficient, then you need to be driven and self-sufficient, whether they're there or not. Mirror, right? Mirror. Mirror. Be what you want to be. Be what you want them to be. Be what you want them to be. Because when you're your best version and you are what you want them to be, that's what you're going to attract. That's what you're going to attract. That's the mirror. That's what gets reflected back to you. When you are everything you want your partner to be, that's when you manifest. That's what you manifest. Yeah, cycles are completing. You know, the 3 to the 7, you're being guided. The divine, the 3 is your guides. The 7 is like divine intervention to complete this cycle. The universe. If I want to love my partner, I have to love myself. If you want your partner to be loving, then you have to love yourself. If you want to attract a loving partner, then you have to love yourself. If you want to attract a faithful partner, then you have to have faith in yourself. If you want your partner to be courageous and take risks on you, then you have to take a risk on yourself. Because that's the only way you're going to manifest it. If you don't want your partner to be afraid, then you have to get rid of your fears to get them. If you don't want your partner to be afraid, then you can't be afraid of yourself. huge messages, guys. Huge messages. I have one more deck. I wanted to end it on a power thought affirmation from Louise Hay. What final thought, with all of the energies taken into account, would the universe like to leave us? What thought? I was saying this morning before I went live. I said I'm seeing things so clearly. Like, you know, I put out that warning, like, don't drink this weekend. Like, there's a fucking reason. There's a fucking reason. And if you know that people are drinking for a reason that is not good, like, you might want to avoid being around them. You just might want to avoid them outright this weekend. Take your space, because this full moon energy, escapes are not your friend. I don't care what the escape is, whether it's drinking, other drugs, video games, whatever it is. If you're escaping this weekend and avoiding it, don't do that. See clearly. I see clearly. Tell yourself as many times as you need to, I see clearly, I see clearly, I see clearly, I see clearly. It's all about your sensing. I sense. I see, I sense clearly. It's not about what we see with our two eyes. It's what we see right here. We know how this shit's going to unfold. We fucking know it. We know it when the shit's going to hit the fan. We know when something feels good, like we might get blessed. We know, we sense it. You're seeing clearly. Someone's true colors, you're seeing them clearly, including your own. See clearly, you know, this green and yellow energy, this confidence energy, this heart chakra energy. Make sure we're healing these things. It says, I willingly forgive. I breathe love into my vision. And I see with compassion and understanding. My clear insight is reflected in my outer sight. When you see clearly here, you start to see people's true colors out there, the true nature of the circumstance. Be willing to forgive yourself for the things that got by you. Be willing to forgive yourself for when you did put others first before your own inner knowing. Breathe love into your vision. Don't hold animosity. Don't hold regret. Don't be petty, right? Because we talked about this. Don't be petty. Don't feel owed. Nothing's owed. The universe handles all debts. Pluto and Saturn in Capricorn right now are handling all debts. If anybody wants out, you can leave. The universe is handling all debts. See with compassion and understanding. See. Know that everybody's pain is just their inner person crying out to them that they need to face. If someone is upset and broken because you left them, it's just their own inner pain crying out. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. Your clear insight reflects in your outer sight. You'll see. You will reap, right? I'm hearing harvest words because it's reminding me of fall. You know, you will reap the rewards. All of this energy, this clearing energy is really coming to a head. Like September 18th to October 3rd. All of the major, like, blessing rewards coming through for those who are walking through the mud, not being dragged through it. For those who are walking through the mud. The big blessing at the end, the payoff is coming. And you're going to start sensing it and seeing it and, like, early August, late July, you know. And if you're going against your shit, you're starting to sense the blessing that's kind of going to hit you sideways, you know. But the harvest time, the blessings at the end of it all. The harvest is either going to be the lesson or the reward at the end. You know, September 18th through the 3rd, it's going to be the manifestation of your blessings in disguise or your reward, you know. Depends on which one you want, because like I said, If you walk through the mud, you don't have any healing process. There's nothing left to heal. You're just a little tired and beat, but you're like, thank God it's over. You know, and you can continue moving forward without any delay, without any heal time. When you make the universe drag you through, there's a heal time. And that sucks, because then you have to bounce back, right? Time heals all things. You need time to heal because you fucked yourself over, and now you're afraid to sabotage yourself again. Afraid to trust other people is because you're afraid to trust yourself. You know, you're afraid to trust yourself. And it's not because yourself was wrong, it's because you didn't understand how you were manifesting. You didn't understand how important it is to listen to yourself. To listen to your integrity, to listen to that little voice that says something doesn't feel right, something is off, something about that person, no matter how much I want to love them, no matter how much I want to be with them, something is telling me to fucking run. 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 There is a reason. You're seeing clearly. Don't deny what you're seeing and sensing to yourself. That is the final message. So, now that this is all wrapped up, for those of you who missed it, you can catch the replay. I love all of you guys. For any information about me and my services, you can find me at Divine Rebel Readings. Through my profile, you can find it in my About section. Okay? I love you guys. I will be here if anybody wants to book sessions with me. Anybody wants anything from personal shit you're going through now to your astrology birth charts, like whatever you guys want. I mean, I'm here doing all of that stuff. Just reach out and let me know, and I'll gladly set up something for you. Usually I can get readings out and things scheduled within like 3 to 5 days. You know, sometimes I could do day of. If you catch me at the right time, I'm like, yeah, I could do it right now. I could do it in a half an hour. If you give me like 20 minutes to set up, I can do it. You know what I mean? So don't hesitate to reach out. You know, if you need that little bit of information to put you in one way or the other so you can trust yourself, because like I said, cards validate. They don't tell you anything you don't know. They just validate and resonate with you on a soul level so that you know which way you're going. You know, so yeah, you know what you're heading for. So with that said, guys, I love you. I love all of you. I hope you guys enjoy a beautiful weekend. You know, like I said, don't go into escapes. don't try and run from your problems. Like, if you want to have a drink because you're enjoying yourself, that's one thing. You know, but if you're around other people who drink to escape, or you're typically someone who drinks to escape, I would avoid that. Avoid that at all costs. Do not do it to yourself. Do not don't. You will be so much happier knowing you have a clear head, watching other people, that you're not going to react and do something stupid that you're going to get bit in the ass for later. You know what I mean? So, love and light, guys. Love each other. Love yourselves. Bye.